What's happening? Welcome in. Wake Up Barstool post-show, guys. Hope everybody's having a great day today. We got our best boy, Connor Griffin, here on the post-show for a few minutes today because one of the things that I want to talk about, and to be clear, look, we do the show on Wednesdays and Fridays. It's very chill. It's about 30 minutes. It's after the show, and it's an open forum, okay? So you get in the chat. You ask whatever questions you want. It could be about anything, and I promise you we'll get into them. Shout out Wombat. What's up, babe? I see you. The T does not stand for Texas A&M and T-Bob. That's like crazy thing to say.
Petite.
C-Lark, what's up? That's right, Petit. Little Petit Bubby. That's right. But okay, I want to start, Connor.
Yes.
With House of the Dragon.
Okay.
And I guess I should say that while I don't plan on getting particularly spoilery, I'm also not going to avoid them at all costs because I want to get into a little behind the scenes video that may involve some spoilers that you're unaware of. So if you really don't want to be spoiled on anything for House of the Dragon, here's your warning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. House of the Dragon Season 3, Episode 1 premieres after a Season 2 in which we kind of spin our wheels, really set the table. We get a massive episode, a lot going on, Battle of the Gullet. Connor, how did you emerge out of this Episode 1?
I was, I guess, a little bit vindicated, I suppose, because everybody's been telling me for the past 2 years that this show has lost a step and that this show no longer has it. And then, you know, Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes around, which is a great show.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh, well, we could just take Dunk and Egg instead of House of the Dragon. Who needs the dragons? Can we cuss on the show, by the way?
Yep. Anything goes.
All right, Stream rules, okay.
Stream rules.
Like, who gives a fuck about House of the Dragon anymore? Give us more Dunk and Egg. You got all the people who are fans of the books who are like, oh, the House of the Dragon, the way that they've killed. I'm like, it's still riveting television. First season was incredible. The first half of last season was spectacular. And then, yeah, it tailed off a little bit at the end, but it was because they were setting up and laying the foundation
they had
for
there's
this.
A lot of chess pieces that had to be placed in order for the explosion of action that you're going to get this season.
And I do believe that this was going to be the finale or maybe the penultimate episode of Season 2. For whatever reason, budget-wise, I don't know, it was tabled, and they made it the opener of this season. It is, I've gone back to think about it, it is by far the best season premiere of any Thrones show.
Oh, I kind of like that.
Because usually Thrones, like, they'll start off a little bit slow and they lay the pieces down and everything. This was, no, we're getting right into the action. And it was absolutely mind-blowing. And it was a great episode. I loved it. One
thing, and by the way, if y'all are into Game of Thrones, and I kind of, like many, I think, probably... So like, okay, Rage Cage says, don't you think there's like Game of Thrones and House of Dragon fatigue by now though? So I kind of felt that. I not with House of Dragons, it's been 2 years, right? But look, how Game of Thrones, the original series, ended, left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. I've never seen a brand kind of poisoned so hard. But I got to give a shout out to our best boy Sam here in the office, because he put me on a YouTube channel, Alt-Shift-X.
Okay.
That I went and started watching videos of again and getting into Thrones lore again in the world that Martin created, the world that the show makers, and I guess it's all to say that I am fully back in it. And if you like Thrones, you have to go check out Alt-Shift-X's YouTube channel. It's unbelievable. But I think one thing in something you said, Connor, that people are missing here. Dunk and Egg is doing something completely different than what House of the Dragon is doing. First, it's a more traditionally solidified story. Dunk and Egg are stories that are based on novellas that follow small amounts of characters through actual storylines. What House of the Dragon is based on, I believe, is first like history of Westeros, and then George Martin wrote a Targaryen history, but the actual books are written from the perspective of a maester who is recording history, and really, they're just like little snippets of stories that are told that involve thousands of characters. And a lot of jokes therein because they were never meant to get made into something like this. Like I believe actually the Tully brothers.
Fight through
it. The Tully brothers are like Oscar, Grover. I can't remember. It's all Sesame Street characters. Oh. Like it was Martin having a bit of fun playing around. He's writing his fake histories. But the point is like it's a really big lift. what the show's having to do, because they're having to make it like a more traditional TV role by combining what were hundreds of different stories into a single cohesive storyline. And I actually think they're doing pretty damn good in that regard.
Absolutely. I think people just want to hate things. I think people, yes, there might be a fatigue. There might be still some people turned off by the end of season 8 of the original Thrones. And, yeah, people might think it's a little bit too dense, but I think we'll see exactly the way it plays out the rest of the season.
Yeah,
People got so turned off by 4 average, maybe subpar episodes in the last season, and immediately, because we're such in this age of, instant gratification, and we need it now, and this sucks. There's no middle ground anymore. It's got to be bad or good, extremely good or bad. People can't have nuance anymore, and they can't have appreciation for details and laying the ground for stuff. We saw it pay off the other night, and the people trying to sabotage the show, I don't understand it. Talk to Brandon and Mark about it, by the way. They'll do the same just irritating shit of people saying, "Oh, Thrones is 10 years washed by now. Who cares?" And that show sucks anyway. It's like, no, it's a good fucking show.
So and I think season 2, like one of the main things is Damon's probably the most interesting character we have in the show, and he just spun his wheels so much to turn people off.
That was the problem.
I feel a bit of the overwhelming amount of characters as well. But you know what else I love? I love production values. I love movie magic, how you make these things come about. I love practical effects. And for all the dragons and CGI that there is in this show, the Battle of the Gullet featured some of the most impressive practical effects you'll ever see in your entire life. Can we go to my computer? This is from HBO's behind-the-scenes show that they do, House of the... I can't remember what they call it. But this is season 3, episode 1, behind the scenes. Look at how they made this naval battle come to life here.
That was on the backlot, ready for future set builds. To then come in at season 3 and Kevin say, "Just so you know, we're going to dig
and this
2
is a little
big
bit longer,
holes and we're going to fill one."
But this is incredible. So, Connor, you have to go at any time. Go ahead.
Water.
I might go.
Yeah, go ahead. Go get out of here.
I got to leave. Thank you. Love you.
Sea gimbaling.
And you go. By the way.
Okay.
Look at
The
this.
dry tank had a massive gimbal in, which would allow pitch and roll, and from bow to stern, so we could have that huge motion of a ship going through the ocean. The first ship that went on it was the Queen That Never Was, which is over 125 feet long. At one point, that whole ship was moving with 115 people on board.
No, it's fine.
What's interesting is
What do you
if
mean?
you're on it,
Like
the
copyright?
camera movement eradicates it. So,
Oh, copyright?
our dry
Oh, I
tank
thought we were
sort of
allowed
keep
to.
away from the ship so we could see.
Oh,
it,
okay.
lots
Well,
of
then we
things
can stop
moving
it.
and
I thought we were allowed to watch it. Oh, that's...
Mute it.
Well, I mean, I thought we could watch like 5 minutes of it. Well, anyway, I guess I'm getting told that we can't for copyright reasons. So you should go check it out on your own because it's really unbelievable. They built these ships that were in the show, full-size replica. As you saw there, 125-foot dry dock ship with over 100 actors on it. Then in the scene where you have the pirates ramming the ship, they built those in a water tank with millions of liters of water. It's just like, I guess this is my overall point. If you're a nerd about how movies are made, which I absolutely am, and I think that's magic, we take for granted that we live in a day and age where somebody is willing to do that amount of work. Like that amount of financial investment, that amount of technical achievement in terms of the science and engineering behind creating sets like that, but then also the artistry of like the costume design, the details of the ship. It brings things to life and it leads to better performance. So I watched that last night. I re-went and watched the actual battle scenes of Battle of the Gullet, and you could feel all of that effort that they put in. You could feel all of that investment. And I think it really translated to the, I think it really translated to the screen in such a satisfying way. And as someone who has bemoaned the rise of, computer effects and the sort of death in many ways of the practical effects, I will always seek to highlight and cheer when people are still doing the work and making the things. And so if you want to spend like 20 minutes out of your day, I cannot recommend enough going and checking that out. It's on YouTube and it is absolutely fantastic. All right, I'm going to dive into some of the YouTube chat here and some of the questions that we had have come about. I just got to go back to my phone. All right, let's see here. As post-show, I want T-Bob to name his NCAA football champion on the show today. I can't do that yet, guys, because I haven't read a single, Lindy's yet. I haven't read Phil Steele. I haven't dived into Pick Six previews. I would say the end of this month, beginning of next month, we're about to start our full college football deep dives. I would say, obviously, Texas is a name that jumps off immediately, but maybe Texas is so obvious as to be the wrong choice. But I'm going to withhold on making a call in that regard a bit yet. Xavi Ramos, every time show runs behind a bit, I low-key blame Carson. It's good instincts by you.
Again, not my fault.
Sir Anthony.
Waiting on you in the bathroom.
Mentions the mom and son. Actually not true today. Mentions
really?
The mom and not
really?
Today. Normally it is. Yeah, I was here at
Normally
9 or
it
8.
is.
Yeah, okay. But
I'm proud of you for admitting that.
what have you done for me
You're
lately?
growing
Carson?
a lot.
What have you done for me lately?
You're doing great.
See, this is why I should have never read that comment. Shut up. You can't talk. Do you think soccer, Sir Anthony, do you think soccer becomes big in the USA or the hype dies after the World Cup? This is something that I've been talking a lot about. I think soccer's been building in the USA. If you look at where it was when I was a child versus where it is now, it's not even close. And just look at this roster currently on the USA and look at the leagues that all these guys play in. Like when I was coming up, there was Brian McBride who played for Fulham. That was huge. You had Landon Donovan at Everton. Obviously, Tim Howard. I think DeMarcus Beasley maybe played in Bundesliga. Dempsey found his way to the Premier League for a bit. But the point is, those guys that were playing in the major leagues overseas are so rare, so few and far between, whereas now, to be in this starting lineup, you almost have to be in one of these major leagues. So my point is, over the last 2 decades, we've already seen a massive rise in the U.S. in soccer. And right now, because it's on home soil, the team's playing so well, you're encapsulating the public in that you never have in my lifetime. So if you go on a run here, you will absolutely infect the next generation with a love of this game. Now, does it lead to the MLS getting bigger ratings? Well, look, I think the MLS is going to continue to rise because all sports are continuing to rise. I don't know if it has a specific impact on our domestic league soccer, because again, the goal here is to kind of get our best players to the best leagues. So I think it won't lead to a rise in MLS. It'll probably lead to a tail effect of more people being interested in the U.S. men's team year round, but it won't. But the goal I think would be to continue to see a proliferation of our best guys throughout the best leagues in the entire world, and I do think that'll end up having that effect. Is House of Dragon pre-Game of Thrones, post-Game of Thrones? Pre-Game of Thrones. I think about 100-something years. What's up, Steve? Nice to have you in here. Walter Ware. Okay, Walter's right to do this. T-Bob, I missed the last USA match, but surely all-world keeper Patrick Beach got the clean sheet. Look, credit to the U.S., man. They dominate Australia. We love to see it. Beach was a bit of a non-factor. You had the early own goal and then the excellent goal set up by Flo Balogun to put that in that Beach could have done a better job on effectively. The point of the point of hyping up Patrick Beach was giving credit for a great match one, and then as I said, if you have success against that player, realize that that was a good accomplishment. And so yes, but to your point, Patrick Beach did not get the clean sheet. USA does. Massive for a team where it's thought that kind of the back line is maybe the relative weakness of this side. And the U.S. suffered a little bit in that second half, which I really enjoyed. Billy the Kid says, T-Bob, you can't actually be supporting Mintz on the treadmill. I understand you having a fellow Louisiana resident's back, but that was such a disregard for others / The Office. So let's be clear about this. 2 things. First off, I think some of the blowback is a bit of a work in terms of, it's Mintz, does numbers, it's funny when people get mad at him. So I think we're dealing with an element of that. I highlighted Mintz on the treadmill, and I just said, no one wants to talk about how fast Mincy is running. And I'll go ahead and pull it up now because I still believe that dude. And I'm not making any great point beyond that. Even though I do love Ben and I have his back, but hold on, let me see. Where would it be here? Give me a second, guys. Give me a second.
T-Bob, if you're
No,
walking,
I have it. I have it. Here it is. Here it
if
is.
you're walking home at night,
Yeah.
it's dark out. All right. Let's see the laptop. Let's see this video.
All right, let's go to video.
You turn
Yeah.
around and you see this coming at you. How are you feeling? And you see this. Play it.
Look at this.
You're walking home alone.
Look at this.
And this.
This guy is getting it. Look at the fucking stride
Live stream.
on that body.
Okay, a long stride doesn't equal
That's
fast.
a body that should not be able to run that fast. He's rocking 10 miles an hour on that treadmill to finish off like a 6-mile run. I'm impressed. Y'all also don't know Ben from back in the day. Ben was incredibly obese. And,
So are you.
And he has lost a great amount of weight. Okay, whatever. He's
wrong.
like, to go from where Ben used to be to that now is something that we should all aspire to. He's got a little bit of Frank the Tank in him. But again, that guy was running fast.
I
Like,
think
that guy was running fast.
relatively for Ben Mintz, yes, I think so.
I'm saying
For the
like,
average person,
For the average person,
Eh.
I think a lot of people would be challenged to run as fast as Ben was just running. I like to see you do it, Carson. You talked a big game running a mile that one day, and then you failed.
I didn't know if we were actually shooting for 8 minutes that day.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if it was official.
I'm going to tell you what my coach told me, Carson.
Yeah?
Do you know what excuses are like? Buttholes. Because
Yeah?
they stink, and everybody's got one. So how about you take that excuse and you shove it up your butthole? Because I don't want to hear it. You failed the test, okay? You said you could, and you failed it. Mince again.
I mean, I've ran more miles on the show than you have.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. But I'm not a fast
So-
runner. Like, I will also say this.
Either
I'm a
put
good,
up or
I'm,
shut up.
I'm a great sprinter when it comes to distance, and I'm in a distance running mode right now. I'm really actually enjoying it and getting better at it, but I will never be fast. I'm so slow. I got one leg that's taller than the other. I'm so heavy. I plod, but I don't think there's anything that makes you feel better than after you force
And I'll
yourself
admit,
to
I'm
run a long
throwing
run.
stones from my glass house. I don't run.
Exactly.
I'd like to preface that as well. I don't run.
I think
Did
Mincy's
that.
faster than you. I don't think you can do
You
10 miles
think-
an hour on a treadmill.
You think Ben Mintz is faster than me?
Yes.
That is a
Let's put it to the
that is
test,
one
guys.
of the meanest things you've ever
Let's
said
have
to
a
me.
Carson versus Mint
The
sprint
fact
off.
that I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Zion Williams, Taco Mark, Zion Williams, your thoughts? Can he stay healthy? I don't know, Taco. I don't know. I do know this. I'm a little upset the Pelicans look like they're going to have to deal Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, which, again, makes sense, right? Their timeline, as good as those guys are, doesn't really match up with the current timeline of Queen and Fears. I do think it's very funny that the Pelicans are very interested in Ja Morant when nobody else is. And I love the idea of Zion and Ja Morant being on the same team together. And I think that's very exciting. It has disaster written all over it. I have no idea if it works or not. But those were the 1 and 2 guys in that draft to have John Zion on the same team. Like, if nothing else, it would be interesting, which when you're talking New Orleans Pelicans, you can use all of the interest that you possibly can. Antonio, can we get a hair routine? I use,
Wet
so
it
a
down
few
and
years
pray.
ago, I thought I was going bald. And then I started using 4 Hims shampoo. And I don't know if it works or not, shampoo and
No
conditioner,
free
but
ads.
yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. It just, for me, like, whether it's placebo, maybe I was never losing my hair, I don't know. I use it and I continue to use it. And I guess all I do is, like, I shower in the morning and then I slick my hair back generally in like a hat for the ride in, and then I just put gel in it and put it back.
I think balding is the one fear shared across every man.
Yeah, I thought I didn't have it. I thought I'd be cool with it. It's
It's gonna happen to all of us at some
But it's such an ego
Just
blow. It's such an ego blow that it does fuck with your head. Wombat Bob, are you a Marvel fan? So in terms of comic books, I grew up a DC guy. My brother was more of a Marvel guy growing up. But yeah, the movies I loved for a very long time. I think now they've been a bit oversaturated. I think they've been a bit focus tested to death. It's kind of a general problem that Disney's having. If you look at like Star Wars, I feel like they're not empowering artists enough. They're too reliant on trying to predict what audiences are going to like instead of letting people kind of create their vision. I mean, the fact that you fired Lord Miller all those years ago off of Solo is insane. And Ron Howard did a fine job, and Solo's a fine movie, but like, my God, where that could have been. But the point of this is, so I've kind of cooled on Marvel a bit, where if something's really good, then I'll check it out. And I've still liked every Spider-Man. He asked, do you think Doctor Doom wins? I don't know. I don't know. Here's one of the big problems, and this is on not just the Marvel IP, but a lot of IPs, and that's the multiverse, which is so interesting and fun in so many ways. Like Spider-Man No Way Home, having Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland all exist in the same movie and having it make sense was really cool. It was, I mean, especially if you're my age and you grew up with all of those different eras of Spider-Man, it was something that could only be achieved through a lifetime of watching. And so that was cool. But the problem with the multiverse is when everything is possible, nothing matters. There are no stakes. There's always a side universe you can go down. There's like, it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, despite the fact that Robert Downey Jr. It's a bit of what Star Wars screwed up in bringing Palpatine back. You bring Palpatine back for Rise of Skywalker. Oh, and actually he's been building the biggest fleet that we've ever seen in a pocket universe and no one's ever heard of. He somehow has the funding and human resources to staff and to do so. Nothing's explained. You bring Palpatine back. He's built bigger and badder shit than the Death Star. Every one of these ships can do. Well, what was the fucking point of the original trilogy? What matters about any of it? And so that's what I am concerned about these Marvel movies falling into as they bring back Robert Downey Jr. and now he's Dr. Doom. So yeah, I don't know exactly what the answer is. I'll see it. But like the question of whether or not I'll see it in theaters is going to come down to if it reviews well and if it's good or not. Sammy says, bring the family out of Mount Prospect Lions Club Fest, 71375, or a farmer's market every Sunday. I love a farmer's market. I've been hitting up the Palatine Farmer's Market every Saturday, and it has been absolutely fantastic, dude. You know, you go get some local fresh bacon, sausage, eggs, milk. I found a salsa stand that is unbelievable. Can't stop eating this. This one Mexican guy makes incredible fresh tamales and elote. Yeah, farmers markets, and there's plenty of them here, are the absolute best. Wombat, in the new Spider-Man posted there are footprints of Jordan 1s. Miles Morales wears 1s. Word on the street is that Tom Holland will lose his powers. Miles will come help him. I'm down for that. I think Miles Morales has been one of the great modern-day comic book character creations of all time. The Spider-Verse movies, for what it's worth, for me, the first Spider-Verse is a landmark animation that I would put right up there with Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Toy Story 1, in terms of animations that are truly unique, advancing the genre, changing the game. And Miles Morales is a fantastic character. I cannot wait for the next Spider-Verse movies. Mac dropped the peanut butter cups. Yeah, I saw those videos of Mac Jones with Kadik and Dana Beers coming out of Titan U. Mac Jones seems awesome. I've hated on Mac Jones so much these years, and maybe I've hated too much because he seems really cool. And all those times, he seems kind of goofy too, which I really enjoy. Let's see here. Is there anyone that I missed here? Dustin says, I have one flat foot, one arch foot, and double jointed knees. If I ran regularly, my lower half would be all fucked up. Yeah, that's crazy. I thought I had some what you call it, some Frankenstein in me, but that's a level even above my pay grade. I'm trying to think about other things that have been interesting to me. I've been all World Cup. Again, I really enjoyed House Dragon. Oh, I've fallen into some crazy YouTube holes lately. There is a genre of YouTube channel that I was unaware of. And there's like, let me see. I want to give credit to the names here so I'm not leaving anybody out that's been providing me great entertainment. But like, have you ever heard of the channel Fern or Brew?
No.
These are channels that do like very interesting deep dives on stories that I've never heard about. And some are darker in nature than others. Like, I watched one on the world's darkest user on the internet. This guy who created like insane, like websites that should never be visited, are hugely illegal and fucked up. And it ends up being like some 21-year-old kid who's just doing it out of his house in the Midwest. I watched a video that I haven't finished yet on the big Hershey heist, or the chocolate heist from earlier this year. I watched a video on what Japan did in World War II. You always hear about Nazi scientists and the experiments that they had going on during World War II and how evil those were. I had no idea that Japan had a massive laboratory and multiple sites where the full commitment, or the full thesis statement, mission statement of these places was to create biological weapons, with the idea being that coming out of World War I, everybody got together and said, these bioweapons, these gases, they're a step too far. Well, there was a Japanese scientist that said, well, if everybody's saying that, that must mean they're incredibly effective and can be used, so we need to commit massive resources to it, and they did. And they did in Manchuria the most unfathomable evil shit that you could possibly imagine, and yet I had never even heard about it. And we're talking like over 300,000 people dead. There's just so many insane stories in this world that I was unaware of, and YouTube is just an endless font of tales that will blow your mind. Yesterday, I'm listening to one about a Mexican, or excuse me, Brazilian, I believe it was, television star who made a real crime TV show where they would show up at these crime scenes like right after they happen, like even before the police a lot of times. And he was viewed as a guy that was standing up to drug dealers, standing up to organized crime, standing up to politicians, and bringing a champion of the people. And then it comes out that allegedly the reason why they were at these crimes so early is because he was the one doing the murders, allegedly. But even that got a bit obfuscated in the court case, and he ends up dying. It's just, again, Fern, Brew, like some of the most interesting stories that I've ever heard of. An old kidnapping where a billionaire's daughter got kidnapped by this guy who's a sociopath and a bit of a genius, and created a box where they buried her alive for 7 days, but they left her everything. It's again, I don't know. It's so many stories and they're so unique that I don't have any great way. I got to finish the chocolate one. I probably could have talked about that one more in depth, but I don't know of a great way of like pointing you in a single direction. But I would say check out the channel Brew, check out the channel Fern. There's some really, really fascinating stuff to behold in there. SMH Unit 731, that was the Japanese unit, did some vile stuff. Yeah, it's insane, and I wasn't aware of it. Right? Like there's so many, and like it's like I knew a little bit about like the Holocaust that took place in the Ukraine after World War II, and Russia basically starving out the Ukraine as they withheld supplies and everything, but I had no idea about this. Andrew, T-Bob, South Carolina cuisine is very similar to Louisiana Creole cuisine without all the good spices. What's a good intro to start introducing some flavor to these milk toast palates? I would say this, Andrew. The most basic way to spice up any meal and give it a sort of Louisiana flair is with a Cajun seasoning. You know, you think like Tony Chachere's, that's always been a big one. I love Champont's, a little less salt, a little more garlic, which to be fair, Tony's did come out with a little salt, a little more garlic. But there's plenty, just like any Cajun seasoning, you can put it on anything, dude. Pizza, sandwiches, hot dog, like whatever. Like you can literally just dump this stuff on anything, give it a little kick. Give it a little kick. Also, jambalaya, if you can make it. But like it's like, I don't know, can you make a great jambalaya or gumbo? If you're not making it, it's going to take time to get practiced at those things. But yeah, I would say just put Cajun seasoning on stuff, and it'll make any dish instantly better. Billy, have you taken the family to a White Sox game? And if so, what's the thoughts? I love their beer and food. I've heard that's great. I have not been to a White Sox game. Eventually I will. We don't do, a bland-ass seafood boil, that sucks. That sucks. I mean, shit, even, my wife's family, they do Maryland crab boils, and they use Old Bay seasoning, which is essentially the same. So yeah, if you're at a bland-ass seafood boil, like look at Billy. I put Cajun seasoning on eggs. Yeah, crabs and Tony salad on eggs, absolutely delicious. Bustin' Diamond, T-Bob, I have white right, kielbasa, and nothing else. What can I do for dinner tonight? One thing, now rice and meat, kielbasa is just a sausage, right? Like, yeah, that rice and sausage are always going to play well together. I would say you could throw some seasoning on there. Or do y'all ever do you ever mess with Japanese barbecue sauce? Have you seen this? It's got a little octopus. The big brand here in the U.S. has a little octopus on the front.
What about Korean barbecue?
I love Korean barbecue. Korean barbecue is great. It's not exactly what I'm talking about here. There's a sauce, Japanese barbecue sauce, where the entire flavor profiles. Salty, right? Sweet, bitter. These are portions of our tongue that are activated when we taste these things. Well, there's another flavor profile that an Asian cuisine has highlighted that we don't always hear, and that is umami, right? Like that is like that's salty, sweet umami, and it's Bakkens. Thank you, Wombat. This barbecue sauce is umami flavor based, and you put that on anything. I put it on everything. My wife makes fun of me all the time. Like if you want to bring any rice, just basic white rice, to the next level. Like if I had kielbasa and white rice, I would just dump Bakken on it. I would dump that on it, and I would love it. I would absolutely love it. So thank you to everyone. Real quick here, Cablewood, T-Bob, call back to Jambalaya competition that Donnie and Mega Make Money did. Where do you fall in the tomato and jambalaya debate? To me, it should never be included. They both did tomato in. Yeah, I don't know. I was a bit surprised Megan did tomato in her jambalaya. Maybe that's a Lafayette thing. I'm not sure. For me, jambalaya should not have tomato, but that's just my opinion.
Jambalaya or jambalaya?
It's jambalaya. Don't fucking come at me.
Creatine or creatine?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, my bad. It's spelled like jambalaya, even though North Louisiana, kind of the more country part of Louisiana, they'll say jambalaya. A lot of people will, but jambalaya is what we're looking for. I've never really had okra, Wombat. That's a blind spot for me. A lot of people put okra in their gumbo, but I hear that like it's all about like can you make it not slimy or not? But I don't know my way around okra one way or another. So. And yes, Billy, you're right. Megan is a hell of a cook. I think we'll have Megan back on Friday's post show, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, guys, we love you. Thank you for joining us. Again, go check out the Game of Thrones Making Up. If you're a movie nerd that likes behind-the-scenes practical effects stuff, I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it. And we love you. Carson, good job.
You didn't say that earlier.
You guys can't even take a fucking compliment. Never mind. You know what? I'm not going to let that ruin my day. I hope you guys have an excellent day. I love you all. We'll be back tomorrow. More WUB, USA Game Day. PFT is working on a package to compare the U.S.'s style of World Cup football to Big Ten football. So you're not going to miss that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see you tomorrow. We love you. Have a great day.